Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Bhupesh. And it's wonderful to be in company of stalwarts here. Before we go ahead for any lamellar surgeries, we must do namaste, big namaste to this gentleman, Garrett Mellis, who was instrumental in conceptualizing all these things from DALK to DSEC to DMEC. And without him, possibly, we would not be talking about all such things. Dr. Bharati already spoke about what's the advantage of endothelial keratoplasty. The most important advantage is it's a closed chamber technique, and hence most dreaded disadvantage of an open chamber technique like expulsive hemorrhage and all those things can be avoided. Also, it can have a faster visual rehabilitation because we are not putting the sutures there, and suture related complication can be avoided. When we call it DSEC, by DSEC, what we mean is Descemet stripping endothelial keratoplasty. And the Descemet stripping part changed a lot of things. Earlier, we used to do endothelial keratoplasty by dissecting posterior stroma, and which had its own irregular surface. And by introducing Descemet stripping by Mellis, it became much more easier. In any DSEC procedure, there are two main components which are involved, and one of them is donor preparation, and second one is the tissue insertion. Indication-wise, again, previous speaker of Bharati elaborated this thing, but the important indications in our scenario is pseudophakic bullous keratopathy, Fuchs endothelial dystrophies, which is more common in West compared to us. But yes, we are seeing such cases more often. Failed graft. Cases of CHAD can be treated with DSEC, as well as cases like eye syndrome and post-endothelitis cases. The question arises, when do we do DSEC? When do we choose DSEC over DMEC? Well, let me clarify one thing. Experienced surgeon like Dr. Rajesh Fogla can possibly do DMEC in every case scenarios. But when we talk about mortal souls like us, that we have to think about where do we want to do DSEC and where we can go with DMEC. Now, there are certain donor factors and certain patient factors which would help us to decide when to do DSEC or DMEC. The donor factor, well, if the surgeon is not very experienced in terms of tissue preparation or DMEC graft preparation, which can be sometimes tricky, if the donor is very young, then DMEC becomes really difficult. Old diabetic cases can also have very sticky DM, and it can be difficult. In fact, if you have two donor tissue, and if one of them is very sticky and leads to horseshoe tear or anything, I would be very careful about the other tissue, because it may behave, if it's a other eye of the same person, it may behave similarly. If you have already damaged one corneal tissue, and if you have another tissue left, which is the case, that other eye of the same donor, then I would rather prefer a DSEC over DMEC. The patient factor, where the visibility is very poor, or there are glaucoma shunts or aphakic vitrectomized eyes, large defect of iris where the air bubble tamponade may be difficult, disorganized anterior segment, especially in TAS and all those things, where you have multiple peripheral anterior senicae. What happens when you're dissecting these anterior senicae, and when there is bleeding inside, though you can put air bubble to stop the bleeding, but many times the fibrin prevents the opening of the DMEC tissues. In such cases, a DSEC can be a better option. The preparation of tissue wise, we can have manual dissection or the automated dissection. I would prefer automated dissection because what it does, it gives me a very well precise uniform thickness donor tissue. And you can have ultra thin tissue, you can have thicker tissue. Based on what kind of blade you are using, you can have a different tissue. Certain places we do have availability of pre-cut tissues from the eye bank, and even femtosecond laser can be used. However, sometimes femtosecond lasers tissue can have some endothelial damage, which has to be kept in mind. Surgical techniques wise, there are two major part of technique, as I said, donor incision. In donor incision, there are again two ways of inserting donor. One is push technique using previously what we used to use, taco fold or forceps assisted. Another one push technique is commonly used sheet glide, and endosaver also is one of the automated way of putting the tissue inside by push technique. The pull technique commonest is Busin glide or tan endoglide, or even we can use suture to pull in the tissue. The preparation of desect tissue using artificial anterior chamber and the microkeratome. Well, first we mount the tissue while running the saline so that we do not have air inside. Preventing air allows us to have a firm tissue, whereas air is more compressible. So we would like to avoid air. We tightened the artificial anterior chamber, remove the loose corneal epithelium, make a mark so that we can replace the cap there, making sure the pressure is adequate. We mount the microkeratome on the surface. We would like to keep the surface wet when we are cutting so that it does not lead to buttonhole. In a single pass, we cut the anterior cap, and in the bed, we would like to mark the periphery of the edge of the cut so that our punching becomes central to that edge of the cut. We replace the cap on top of it. The idea behind that is it gives a bulk to the cornea. Hence, when we remove the anterior cap of artificial anterior chamber, the tissue bounces back and does not lead to further endothelial damage. After that, the cap and the bed complex is taken on a punch. Whatever punch suits you. Here, I'm using Hana's punch. This is a vacuum punch. So whatever punch suits you, you can use to punch the adequate size tissue. I would normally prefer the tissue of 8.5 millimeter size, depending upon, again, the recipient bed. Now, inserting the tissue can be done using different ways. Here, I'm showing you the pull-through technique using tan endoglide. This case had a smaller size anterior chamber IOL put. So my plan was to remove that and measure the size and then replace it with an adequate size AC IOL. Under AC maintainer, I'm doing the Descemet stripping. The same step can be done under air also, but air has to be replaced multiple times because it can leak out. Or else at the side port, you can put dispersive viscoelastic there, making a peripheral iridectomy here. As the previous surgeon had not made an iridectomy, which would be required for ACIL, as well as it would facilitate my DSEC surgery also. After inserting the ACIL, now this case was dissected on femtosecond laser. So I'm dissecting that tissue, which is part dissected on femtosecond laser. This is the tan endoglide, and I'm mounting the tissue as it's dissected on the femtosecond laser. The marking had to be done later on. The pull-through technique requires a microforcep, which is straight forcep. I pull the desect tissue inside and then mount my endoglide there. Flip the endoglide, and from the opposite side, I go with, again, microforcep and pull the tissue inside. Anterior chamber maintainer is then is stopped, and then we put the air bubble and suture the corneal wound, adjust the cornea there. Another pull-through technique using Busin glide. Busin glide is much easier and less expensive, reusable. So Busin glide can be used. Similar way, we go from the opposite side using a micro forcep and place the Boussin glide near the wound and pull the cornea inside. Again, the artificial interior on the AC maintainer is kept on, which helps us to open it up, and then suturing it, the main wound as well as the side put. After putting an air bubble, completes the surgery. The pushing technique using sheet and sheet glide also is very simple technique, where on top of it we put a cohesive viscoelastic agent, and on that we put the tissue. And then
sorry to interrupt you. We have limited time for each speaker, so I request you to wind it up.
I'll try to
conclude. Thank you.
In failed PKP, we can do DSEK. We may not do a endothelial or Descemet stripping there. Complication-wise, one of the commonest complication is dislocation, and which can be detected on anterior chamber OCT. To conclude, DSEK can be a better alternative to PKP in many cases. Proper case selection may be required. There can be a small learning curve. There are indications where we would prefer to do DSEK over DMEK. Hence, DSEK still has a place in the current practice. Thank you very much.